Washoe County corruption, conversation with title company.
Good morning, Stuart Title.
I'm looking for Jordan.
One moment. This is Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, this is Jeff Wilson. You called me about a title on a property in Wilcox Ranch.
I did. Thank you so much for calling me back.
Who's buying?
I'm not sure. Are you the right person to call for all the HOA documents and whatnot?
Technically, yes. Yeah, so who's buying okay. Who's buying the property?
It is. If I can specify. I think it's a trust, I want to say, but okay, just pulling it up here. Yes, it's just two. It's a trust, husband and wife, James and Connie Schreck.
Okay. Okay. So I was elected. Let me explain to you. I was elected as a secretary, treasurer several years ago, and I have to tell you this, there's some major lawsuits going on and fraud going on with this Wilcox Ranch. And so there's going to be some big lawsuits coming, okay? And I'm going to be one of the number one plaintiffs on it. Basically, this thing had been run for 15 years, and you could tell this to Jim Schreck because he's the one that's behind this. Okay, they're the ones that are adverse to the association, and there's a big problem because you got attorneys that have liened our properties and this and that, and so this is going to go to federal court, and everybody's going to get sued. There's going to be title companies sued, there's going to be insurance companies sued, and there's going to be adverse parties being sued. So that's basically, they know it. And I believe Jim Schreck, somebody turned me into the Secretary of State for fraud, and they didn't get the job done. So now we're going to sue on quiet title, and there's going to be 100 defendants in this thing. So it's going to be bloody. Okay. Basically, what I've uncovered was embezzlement for the last 15 years. Not intending to do so. We've only had the property for 5 years. Okay. And ever since we got the property, this thing has been one, you had attorneys leaning properties, selling them on the courthouse step, and then these people come in there, and specifically the Schrecks, okay? Specifically the Schrecks came in there and wrote me a letter saying that this thing hasn't existed since 2001, even though they filed a perpetuity vote at the Secretary of State under a notary seal, and they voted for it. Now they're saying it doesn't exist. So you got 80 people that have defective title, okay, including me and everybody else. Whereas when we bought the property, we were informed, we wanted this road association to work on the roads. Well, we didn't get that, okay, for the last 5 years. But, I ended up becoming the secretary. They voted me in there. In fact, Jim Schreck voted me in there. And then now they say it doesn't exist. And I'll tell you why, because there's a development going on up in there. With Sparks is going to annex that place up there. And Jim Schreck, he's got about 10 properties now. Okay, and he's adverse to the association. Okay, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. And I turned to Jim Schreck in for threatening me with a firearm, told me he was going to bury me out there. So I'm just telling you, there's going to be a big lawsuit, and there's going to be 1 through 100 defendants. And I'm suing the insurance. You could tell them I said so. I'm suing the insurance, and I'm suing title companies. Okay, there's other people that are going to do it too. Okay, it's taken me about 2 years to uncover all the fraud that's been going on with these people, and it's going to be a big one. This one's going to be on the news. So. Yeah, so just to let you know.
I'm so sorry. I just have someone on hold really quickly. I just need to talk to you really quick.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
just have to verify my
Yeah,
instructions
yeah.
really
All
quickly,
right, go
and then
ahead.
I can pick you right back up.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. One second. Sorry about that. I had to grab that call really quick just before he left for work. So,
yeah.
sorry, you can continue on.
Well, I'm just giving you the
So,
information that
did you?
go ahead. Ask me.
Okay. So, so they're aware of everything. I believe I knew that they had other property in this association.
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is yeah, what's going on? Okay, there's going to be quiet title suits, and that's all in the works right now. We have to quiet the titles because you got attorneys that have liens on our properties, and these same people that are spearheading this all voted for the perpetuity. And you can go check it on the Secretary of State website. I put the complaint. There's a complaint on the website, okay, that I put in there. Yeah, it's all in there about the embezzlement, okay, and how they're going around saying, well, the problem is you can't do this to everyone's title. We have defective title, so the title companies are going to be involved in this. And furthermore, Stewart Title, I think it's Joanne Sundstrom that works there. I'm not sure. Is that her name? Well, I've already had contact with her, the former president and secretary of the Wilcox Ranch that had been running it for the 15 years and going around leaning and fining and using attorneys to go after people. They attempted to quit paying the dues after they resigned. Okay, and I had to take them to court, and they paid. Okay, but there's a problem. Then shortly after that, they turned me in for fraud to the Secretary of State for trying to run this association after they placed me in there. Okay, so we have put the association at stay until the lawsuits are completed on quiet title. So I'm just letting you know, Stewart Title and Jim Schreck and all that, they're all getting sued. Okay, and it's just the way it is. Well, I mean, it's not your thing, but I need to inform you of this to let you know, because they know. Specifically, Jim Schreck, he knows. Okay, because they're the ones that did this. They're the head of it all. They wrote the letter saying it doesn't exist through 2001. So they got a big problem, basically saying that it doesn't exist, but you got all these people that brought these properties and that paid for this service, and they weren't getting honest services. So it's going to be a big mess. And the insurance companies and my title company it's already been established. We're just getting to the point before the lawsuits are filed to get to the bottom on quiet title here. So however you deal with that on Jim Schreck, he knows about it. Okay, and he also had purchased 2 other properties and went around the title thing and calling us up to ask us about the title and the papers for it on 2 other properties. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of defendants in this thing, and it's unfortunate. But I am not representing anything about the association. Okay, it's at stay. It's stayed right now. As soon as they turned us in for fraud, we put a stay on it and noticed the association that there's a stay pending the outcome of the title suits. So that's all I can.
you guys are in the middle of this lawsuit.
Well, the lawsuits haven't. Yeah, the lawsuits haven't been filed yet. Okay, they're in the works. Okay, and there's no getting around it because you got 80 property owners out there that all paid for this association and the road maintenance, and for the last 5 years we haven't got any road maintenance, and there's it's a big problem out there. So you got defective titles all the way down the line from multiple title companies. Now how that pans out, I don't know, but we're gonna have to quiet the title. So I mean,
I might have you talk to my boss just for a second about this, just because I've not had this happen before.
I mean,
I just want to make sure we handle it correctly. Or like just inform people correctly. Obviously, it sounds like the buyers are aware.
As long as you put that in there when they buy it, that they accept all responsibility for the title, because we have to quiet title. I need quiet title on my property. We bought the property in understanding that we had road maintenance, and they charged us and they put late fees on us and all this stuff, and we paid all that, but we never got any honest services for the last 5 years. And it's not just me, it's everybody, so you need to protect your thing and tell them up front that there's pending litigation or pending complaints concerning the Wilcox Ranch. As long as they agree to that, that relieves you guys of the problems there. But
and that's what we normally get. Like from any HOA, we usually get something that states that there's any pending litigation, etc., which it is what it is.
It's a pending dispute, I guess, but it's a title issue, because you're saying that it doesn't exist, but you're the same ones that went down and voted the perpetuity under notary seal with the Secretary of State, and I have the votes. I'm the Secretary Treasurer. I have the books and records, and I have the votes of who voted for it, and they specifically voted for it. Now they're coming around saying it doesn't exist, but in fact, the attorneys, Kern and Associates, have a lien on our properties, on everybody's property. You could go look at the title and see them. There's a lien, several liens on there saying about the Homeowners Association. The last one was in 2018. So now Gail Kern, she's refusing to answer anything about it, because it's a real mess, and it's nothing I did. I've only acquired the property 5 years ago, and it's from day one, we've never gotten any honest services for road maintenance. And then I volunteered to try to clean it up, and now I'm being attacked and turned in for fraud and all this other stuff. Well, there's going to be a big lawsuit in federal court on this. This is going to federal court, not state court. Mine's going to federal court. Okay, for a title issue. The rest of them, no, and a lot of these people don't know because they don't have possession of the books. Well, I do. I've been going over them for the last 3 years, and I've already turned them all in to the sheriff, the attorney general, the secretary. Said they all got it. So there's a huge criminal complaint that's going to be dropped on them. So you tell Jim Schreck whatever you want. At least write it in there that you're not, I'm not making any representations at this point for Wilcox Ranch. It's been all stayed the minute they turned us in. We got a FOIA in there to find out who the one that turned us in for fraud to the Secretary of State, and I believe it's Jim Schreck or one of those people. So whatever you tell him, I don't really care.